So, ladies and gentlemen, Joe Biden has clinched the nomination. And once again, it is time to ask ourselves, and I mean, I don't know what else. What you want me to say? I know that we could have UBI right now, but hey, people, we got Biden instead. I know we could have single payer health care right now. That could be a main part of the conversation with a legitimate chance to get. But hey, everybody, we got Joe Biden instead. I know we could have transformational climate change legislation right now. It could be in the works. But hey, we got Biden instead. I know we could have an end to endless wars, but we got Biden instead. I know we could have somebody like Tulsi who was going to ban private prisons and decriminalize all drugs with an executive order, but you got Biden instead. I know that the left could have actually had somebody that represents them to beat Donald Trump, like, because Biden can't beat him, but you got Joe Biden instead, people. I know that y'all have been telling the Democrats not what you want, but what you need for the last 1, 2, 3, I don't know, forever, but specifically over the last 4 years. I know y'all established Unity Commission and things supposed to be a little bit more fair. And I know they were going to listen to all your problems. I know you're dying from lack of help. I know that y'all been. I know, but it's okay because you got Biden instead. And guess what? In November of 2016, or excuse me, 2020, you're not going to get Biden instead. In order for Biden to have clinched the nomination, you need 1,991 delegates. Thank you, Gloria. I appreciate it. I like this shirt too. That's what I wore. Thank you, Gloria. But he needed 1,991 delegates to clinch it. Here's the problem with that. I can almost guarantee there's no chance in hell that Biden got those delegates legitimately. I mean, I know we still haven't solved the mystery of the disappearing ballots in California. I know that Bernie raised hundreds of millions of dollars and did not once, outside of Iowa, challenge the legitimacy of these outcomes, knowing that there was some weird, fishy stuff going on, considering that the exit polling in the Democratic primary and the Democratic primary alone was enough to completely deregister elections and spark not only not a recount, people, a new election in that particular state. Not a won't like a recount stuff. This was new election territory. That's how bad the exit polling was. But when we try to tell people this is not going to work, Bernie, he can talk about all the issues, you know, all the feel-good issues that we want to see, Medicare for all, blah, blah, blah. Every other candidate, you know, even Yang, Marion Williams, you can talk about all those issues, but if you're not going to talk about election integrity, I mean, what the hell? What was the point of even running again? Whenever Donna Brazile admitted it was rigged. Whenever Elizabeth Warren confirmed it was rigged. Whenever Tom Perez confirmed it was rigged. So at that point, why would you not take the necessary steps to ensure that it wouldn't be rigged again? But of course, we ain't about to just hold one person accountable, because y'all participate in the political process as well. And I know a lot of Bernie supporters who were telling us don't even talk about rigging because it would discourage people from going to vote. Because I'm sure that everyone who thinks, man, I'm so glad. Like when you hear, I'm so glad my candidate is actually trying to fight to make sure my vote counts, that immediately discourages you from going to vote, right? The idea that someone is making sure your vote counts discourages you from going to vote, right? Some ass backward logic there, huh? But loyal Democrats thought you could just overwhelm. Yeah, because there's a lot of progressives that are loyal Democrats, absolutely. They thought you could just overwhelm the system. You can overwhelm rigging. How's that working out? And now I'll be told to go vote for Biden as his policies have led us to exactly where we're at today. You know what I don't want to hear from? You know who I don't want to hear from, in all seriousness? How many people have been pushing Biden for the last, progressives, have been pushing Biden for the last 2 months? When we said, well, at least I did. No, have you lost your mind? Stop trying to convince me to vote for a man who told me he doesn't want his kids to grow up in a racial jungle to justify segregationist policies. Why the hell would you even think that is even begin? Like, what? Like, that's not even a, like, if anyone actually, when you look into Biden and research Biden, because there's a lot of people who stay willfully ignorant so they can justify their grift. There is no way in hell you can bring yourself to vote for him, especially as a black man. But then the protests start that are largely sparked by police brutality on who? A black man. Now, who was the 94 crime bill targeting? We know who, right? Okay. So this is the part, once again, where if you told me and others to vote for Joe Biden before George Floyd's death, you don't get to play superhero now. You don't get to pretend to care about these issues that were largely sparked by Joe Biden himself. Now you want to come over here and play white savior and pretend like you didn't tell us to vote for the man who is at least indirectly responsible for emboldening police departments, police forces, law enforcement everywhere, police unions. He emboldened them and paid them money to put us in prison. He gave them a license to treat us as animals. And that is why people like George Floyd are no longer here. And others have been wrongfully in prison. While white mothers, soccer moms in Colorado are wealthy as hell off of marijuana now. And now you want to turn around and pretend to be my ally? No, you try to shame me. You try to tell me I have to vote for one racist or another. I have to choose between the racist and the segregationists. It's just like you try to tell women they need to get over the fact that Biden is an alleged rapist who refuses to acknowledge his past. If I was a woman, my decision to not only give a middle finger to Biden, but to every single one of you who dared to tell them to ignore that, I would give a middle finger to you too if I was a woman. So now we've arrived to the killing of George Floyd, police brutality running rampant, the militarization of police, private prisons and jails are literally being filled with peaceful protesters. They're getting paid, by the way, daily for every single day a protester is occupying that prison. They only have to spend a certain amount of hours there, and after a certain time, If that person is on the books, then the jail gets paid for it. And they make even more money if they aren't longer there for them, if they're not there long enough for them to feed them. Or at least only feed them one meal. Don't forget all the bail money. All of this was exacerbated by the 94 crime bill. You know, the same crime bill that the people who are demanding you vote for Joe Biden have never actually experienced any negative ramifications from. Yeah, we're not the same. Because, boy, me and the 94 crime bill are very familiar at this point. So now you got to deal with the nominee who is both directly and indirectly responsible for everything we're seeing right now. And I'm supposed to be a Democrat because what exactly? What am I supposed to get out of that bargain? Trying to figure that out. I mean, hell, literally on the top of the ticket, it was about to be Joe Biden, Mr. Biden crime bill, with Amy Klobuchar, the man responsible for Derek Chauvin being on the streets, or the woman, excuse me, responsible for Derek Chauvin being on the streets still. Are you kidding me? And y'all were going to tell me I better vote for that ticket? Really? Really? Did Joe Biden speak up or speak out against Barack Obama as he militarized the police primarily in communities of color, that where that military equipment was subsequently used on protesters in places like Ferguson and Baltimore? Did Joe Biden speak out when that young woman lost her eye in Standing Rock and the other young woman lost her arm? Has Joe Biden even apologized for the 94 crime bill? Has he showed any indication that he actually plans on doing really anything different than what Donald Trump is doing right now? Other than the fact that we know he wouldn't be tweeting it because the man can't use a damn cell phone to save his life. He would just be doing his authoritarianism behind closed doors like we're used to politicians doing, rather than pretending to be our ally on Twitter. Anybody? Can anybody give me any legitimate reason to believe that the election of Joe Biden would do anything else but put this country back to sleep? See, people like myself who have been victims of police brutality, people like myself who have been a victim of policies like Biden, while the rest of y'all excuse my language, I know some people's kids are watching, while the rest of y'all people got to go to sleep, got to live your lives peacefully. See, this is actually a nice change of pace for us. People actually care about what's happening to us all of a sudden, enough that they would fight for it. This is nice. But you know, like they said, they made it very clear when they got when Hillary lost. See, if Hillary Clinton was president or any other neoliberal, you'd be at brunch right now, wouldn't you? And that's what y'all really want to get back to. You want to get back to brunch. You want to get back to your peaceful lives where the highways aren't blocked, where you're not having to Google where there's a protest at in order to avoid it or be stuck in traffic. You want to get back to your normal lives of only actually having to do anything regarding actually being principled on the issue of race and foreign policy and anything else really in general. You only really want to have to deal with it on Twitter and social media at a very safe social media distance, pun intended. But now it's starting to get a little bit too close, huh? Starting to hit a little bit too close to home. See, 2 days of protests were okay for your clicks. 2 days of protests were okay when you got to play partisan politics and partisan games the way y'all generally do, when you got to be the white savior, but your witty quips are running out. You're not the witty tweets where you get your little 16,000, retweets and likes and get to pat yourself on the back like a nice little white savior, nice little white knight. They're running out, aren't they? You're tired of being exhausted from being tired, from being exhausted, from dealing with these issues every single day, huh? It is exhausting, isn't it? It really is. I know, trust me. Because this is what I have to deal with every day of my life. I have to police myself. I can't go to certain places by myself. I couldn't even walk on South Beach by myself without being considered a drug dealer and arrested on the spot. With the lie that, oh, you don't have a state ID, therefore we can arrest you. Even though I had a military ID. I can't even let my friend walk around the street by like, hey man, where you going? Well, we got to go. I'm walking to McDonald's. Okay, let's walk together. This is life. And it's a life that we live in large part because of the policies of Joe Biden and the Democrats. And, of course, the policies of Republicans as well, because Ronald Reagan definitely played his part. But, of course, Joe Biden's a nominee now. So you better get in line. You better go vote for him. Without acknowledging the fact that people like myself and people like my team tried to warn you. This was coming. And if we don't deal with election fraud, if we don't deal with election integrity, if we don't start telling the truth about what's happening, and if we don't start acknowledging the people who are introducing these policies to try and prevent a Biden scenario, this is going to be the outcome where we all lose. And unfortunately, we're here. We are here. Now, the question is, now that we are here, what are you going to do about it? Ladies and gentlemen of the world, are you going to pretend like voting for another racist over a segregationist is the right answer? Because last I checked, I've seen a lot of city ordinances being passed all of a sudden to rein in the power of police to hold to account police brutality. All of a sudden, I've been seeing it. Minneapolis just passed a whole slew of reform. A bunch of people, all of a sudden, now that they scared that their store gonna get lit up, now that they are afraid because black people and poor people are in their rich neighborhoods, because it's protesting every day, because they're being put on camera every single day, all of a sudden, a vote wasn't what caused reform, but your outrage and your organizing did. It's almost like that's historically what has caused reform in this country. Because it is. Like I always say, marriage equality was brought about because a couple fought for their rights every single step of the way, and it was overturned by the Supreme Court. And that's for every type of LGBTQ, interracial marriage, whatever you want to say. It was a couple who fought. Why do you think? So the Democrats back in the day were trying to ban black people from participating in Democratic primary. Do you know what that took? It took a man with the means, a black man with the means to organize and fight, that was able to appeal it to the Supreme Court and won. And that's why black people were allowed to participate in primaries today. Did y'all know that? Why do you think LBJ signed the Civil Rights Amendments? Because he and the rest of Congress were terrified People were on Capitol Hill about to tear that bitch down. Even these people that are in office right now are exhausted. They are having to wake up every single day and deal with the same thing. It was cute and fun for the first 2 days, right? It ain't fun when you gotta deal with it every single day. And these protesters and these organizers are out here making sure that these low stamina politicians, these low stamina cops, are having to deal with this every single day. To the point where now I'm looking at my damn Instagram like, oh, look, there's another one. Oh, there's another one. Oh, there's another one. Oh, they already have one planned for tomorrow. Oh, they already have one planned for the next 3 days. All right. It isn't, yeah, it's important to exercise your right to vote. But it is more important for you to exercise your right to fight. So what are you going to do? You're going to pretend like there's a lesser of two evils here? Or are you going to fight like hell to make sure that you are in control of your country, rather than allowing it to be controlled by megalomaniacs and psychopaths? That's your choice to make. We got one more topic. I know we're getting a little bit. It's getting a little bit later. Lori, thank you very much for the super chat. The curfews and martial law do suck as well. Didn't Miami change theirs back to 10 after Friday's protest? I don't know. I thought we were at 12. I don't know. But the martial law does. But that's once again something else we have to challenge. If you like that segment of Mikasa and Sukasa, don't forget to like the video and smash that subscribe button. Want access to members only live streams, behind the scenes footage, and other premium content? Well, you can endorse us on Rockman Premium, become a patron through Patreon, or you can sign up for the MCSC Premium membership through YouTube. All the links are in the description below. But hey, more than anything else, always remember,
find your balance.
Find your balance.
Find your balance.
Find your balance. Find your balance.
Find your balance. Find your balance.
Always remember, more than anything else, find your balance.
peace.